we are back again, this time for the second match of the day. Unfortunately, for the first team, we can't show you one of those super mega fancy videos introduction. Reason as follow. Fnatic, obviously consisting of 5 players, unfortunately is only here with 4 at the moment. Trixie didn't make it to his flight, or rather, the flight has been cancelled due to the horrid weather at the moment, as there's a lot of snowstorms and stuff going on. He will be here a bit later today. Unfortunately, he's going to miss his first game. And Fnatic, therefore, has a stand-in, no other than Street, their manager. And that's definitely going to be interesting to watch. I can't wait for that game. But this is the reason why we won't have the introduction video for them. However, we still want to introduce those guys to you, or rather one of them at least, who is joining me for a quick interview. So please give it up for Fly. There's the sound. It's nice. It was dramatic, wasn't it? Since you're alone, we kind of needed to go for that. So you guys are standing, you have a stand-in. It's your team manager. How confident are you going up against Startale with that?
With Danny, we have no chance, but no, it's okay. I think we can pull it off. I mean, they're a bit inexperienced, so maybe we can take advantage of that. So we'll do our best, obviously. Give Street some CM hero. He can stay in Fountain, you know, have aura.
I assume he prepared for that this morning when you heard that Trixie's probably not going to make it for the first game. Did he actually practice? Did you start to talk to him about what's the plan, or do you just going to wing it?
He played a pub with Venomancer, I believe. That was pretty much our preparation.
All right, well, Venomancer, that sounds good. That's something to go with. So Trixie should be back later on during the day. You think you're going to swap him out with Street if Street is going to do well?
Yeah, if he wins, then like we win now, then we're going to have Street as our permanent player. I can play carry finally, and we're going to win everything. So that's the plan. Sounds
like a great plan. Well, I wish you guys good luck. Thanks a lot for joining me here for the interview, and I can't wait to see the first few games. That said, we do have a second team, of course, and that's the team from Korea. So please, a round of applause for the Startale player, Tambeard.
We don't expect to win, but we're here to learn. And we hope to get the best from this, and hopefully we can become a stronger team after this tournament.
I'm really nervous because I'm playing against strong teams. The best thing about my playstyle is that I try to go aggressive on the enemy. And I try to win my lane every time, but sometimes if I fail, I have a bad game.
In my opinion, I don't think we lack in individual skill. I think when it comes to laning and stuff like that, we can play evenly with the international teams, but when it comes to experience and just team fighting and strategy in general, we don't even come close yet. That's why they're such.
So Tambeard is now joining me for a quick interview. It's the first ever tournament for your team outside of Korea. Are you excited about that?
Yes, we're very excited to be here, and we feel very honored.
So how do you think you guys are going to do? I mean, we have some really high-profile teams. Of course, Startale is a really, really good team too. Where do you see your chances in this tournament?
Not very good. We're just here to learn. Just get the best experience we can out of it, and hopefully we can improve after.
Well, we can't wait to see the games. That's a really nice approach. So thanks a lot for joining me. We wish your team good luck in that tournament. And we're going to start that game in just a bit. And for that, once more, for all the actions, let's hand it over to our casters.
Thank you very much. So we are back here at the casting desk. I am Toby1, and we actually get to replace Malcolm. We go for an upgrade, because French is always an upgrade from Danish.
Well, thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, we have Bucking Mad, or Fucking Mad. I know, I sent it to you at the very, very start, and I can't shake it now.
You know, Bucking Mad is completely fine. I mean, I'm even considering changing my nickname to Bucking Mad because of you.
Yeah? Great, fantastic. Modifying the scene, one name at a time. Obviously, if you don't know him, he is the Mon Capitan of Sigma, who has recently had some very good results over at MLG and anywhere else you can get yourself into. Recently able to take out Na'Vi, in fact, in the best-of-5 matchup over at the D2CL. And yeah, doing pretty damn well, man. Doing pretty damn well. It's great to have you here on the casting desk.
It's a pleasure, really.
Yeah. Last time we got to cast together was actually Startale.
I remember that.
It was a long time ago, man. It was a long time ago. We are getting ourselves ready to play these games right now. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're actually running 2 separate sets right now. So there's 2 levels to this place. We've actually got like our little race section a little bit further up on the other corner. Like you got a little secret shop. You got a little players lounge over on the side with their own little private TVs. But we're actually running 2 sets of computers. So upstairs is where the players will be for this game, and it will be Fnatic going up against Startale. And well, man, let's talk about Fnatic first, because I want to talk about Fnatic first before we talk about the Koreans.
Sure.
Now, obviously, Street's playing for them. So Flame will be coming his way, just because he's a manager and he's a stand-in.
Of course.
But he's actually not a bad player. He's not a bad player. He's played in the Dota 2 Staff Cups. He's done a decent job. Like I think he'll hold his own right now. But I'm interested to see who goes into what lanes.
My guess would be that Notail will take the mid role, and probably they will have Hani on the off lane. I mean, Notail used to play mid role for Fnatic, so it would be, I think, the most logical thing to go for them. So Notail mid, Hani off lane, and then have, of course, Fly and Street on support, and Era sticking to the carry role. I think it would be a pretty good setup for them for this game.
I'm interested to see though, like if they're going to go for some fun. Obviously, the Koreans haven't really got a lot of respect of late, as the Koreans were saying themselves. They're not really expecting to win while they're here. They're looking just to learn. And Fnatic were the team that traveled. They were the first team to go to Korea.
Yeah.
They were there with actually Team Liquid when they went for the Next On Supermatch Invitational Series, and they went 4-0. Like, it was completely one-sided in a way, and I'm rather concerned right now that Startale's going to be feeling the wrath, because it wasn't Startale that had to play up against him. It was a team called Underrateds that played up against Fnatic while they were there. But Startale would have been watching that Wisp Tiny combination just crush Korea, and that rippled from Korea too. Like, that rippled over here into Europe.
Yep.
So everyone's like, Prophet Wisp, Fnatic, take them out every time.
Exactly. I mean, they got the Wisp back in this meta for sure. It's them. And what was impressive is not only that they won the Korean team, they actually beat Liquid pretty convincingly with that. And they weren't expected to back then, because they were, right before that, they were having a pretty rough, phase. They were losing a lot of games. And it was like the biggest challenge for them to face, and they did it like perfectly. It was really dominating performance from them, thanks to this Wisp Tiny or whatever they like to play with Wisp combo.
It's kind of funny though when you talk about like Fnatic is this team that like they have really, really rough patches.
Yes.
Like Fly disappeared for a long time. That was just before TI3, and everyone was like counting him out for TI3, saying, they're never going to play really well. Like, nothing's going to happen with this team. And then Fly comes back like 2 months beforehand, and all of a sudden they're like, wow, okay, these guys are actually pretty damn good. Wait, they're in the top 8 at TI3. Holy, wait, let's just hold the phone. Something's not quite right here.
They're really impressive because like they can have really, of course, not bad results, but performance where you expect them to perform well and they don't, and they suddenly lose to a team there you don't expect them to lose, and then like the day after they just, for example, dominate Na'Vi in a best of 3 in the best possible way.
Yeah.
But the thing is that a team's potential is really the best game they can play, because of course when you play a bad game, it's just you weren't focused or you had a bad game. I mean, so the best you can play is actually the wins, and the biggest one. So I'm looking forward to see this team stabilize at one point and can like to perform at this level every time, and they're going to be a very scary team.
Yeah, when they can stabilize.
Yes.
But like I was talking to Hani and Fly. Were both saying that this team is one of those teams that they can get tunnel vision very, very bad. Like they know it's a real big problem right now, where you start off with a draft and you're like we know what we want to do and how we want to do it, and then we just we set our ways. But like the best thing in Dota has always been dynamic. You don't always get set on one point, and they know it's a problem. They know it's a problem, and it happened at Dream League too. They like in in their matchup against like Na'Vi, they went 3-0. Everything was like amazing. Like everyone was like, whoa, whoa, what the hell just happened right now?
That was amazing.
Yeah, like that was beautiful play. And then the grand final was completely the opposite when they tried different things. Like Na'Vi were playing very, very well at the same time. So not taking anything away from them, but Fnatic didn't give us the game style, like the coordination. Like when everything just works, it's a well-oiled machine. And when it's not, it's all rusty and definitely not working right.
For sure, that's the thing about this team. But what really impresses me as well, like about Fnatic, is that I mean they switched right to Dota 2, and when they started, they had really rough games, and they were facing top teams already, and they were losing, of course, chain losing, because that's what's happening with the Korean teams right now. You need experience, and Mike mentioned it right before, and I think he's right. You really like playing Dota competitively requires a lot of experience, and they're getting like they have huge dedication, this team, and it's really impressive.
Interesting to know too, the Fly. He likes to actually be known as the Israeli, so they have like 5 different players, but he's actually Canadian, for those guys who don't know. He was actually born in Canada.
I didn't know that.
He has a Canadian passport.
Interesting.
Yeah, so just a small little thing, but he doesn't want to be claimed by Canada because there's already too many Canada players, and he likes being the only Dota 2 professional player from Israel.
He's the only one.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. He gets to be special.
Yeah.
He's also probably the only person who could kill you in like 500 different ways. The Fnatic team.
You don't want to mess with him.
No,
for sure.
You don't. And as far as Startale goes, this is actually a fun team to watch. I love, too, the fact they put Wisp in Gandhi's role, because I remember the first time I got to cast Startale, and he played a Wisp, and there was some questionable ultimates from Wisp, like times when he'd go by himself. And
that's not something you want to do.
Yeah, like the tether mode was like, I'm in the middle of everything team, I forgot my hero, kind of thing. But then at the same time, like he's actually gotten a lot better. Like, watching the development, like I've been casting a lot of the Korean teams from the very, very start, when they started up in the initial season of the Sponsorship League, and then watching their transitions in the Super Matches too. And you can see them every week. There was a new European or American team coming into Korea. They would pick up something new. Like, they would see what they did, they'd analyze what they did, and they'd do it well. And I think Startale's, the reason why now they are the #1 team in Korea is because they're the ones that watch the closest. Like Tenbird was actually 100% right when he said, like, as far as laning goes, these guys are really good at it. Like, they actually, like, as far as CS goes, as far as, like, the solid drafting for the laning, that's where these guys are perfect. Yeah. Team fights and under pressure, decision-making during that point, that's where they've always come down.
Of course, and that's the hard part against strong teams, because right now, even if you play from behind, the decision-making is so important, especially against teams that are as experienced as Fnatic or Alliance or Na'Vi, because even if you get the control of the game, you can lose it at any second. So your decision-making has to be flawless for you to win the game. And it's going to be really interesting to see a team that's obviously not favored. Fnatic is highly favored for this game. It's going to be very interesting to see the approach they have to the game, and how do they want to play aggressive? Do they want to try to pressure Fnatic, or do they say, like, we're going to play defensive, try to get the most we can get out of the laning phase, and then try to capitalize on that advantage?
I think it's going to be the second, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be the second. Startale will just basically buy their time out. At the same time, I'm hoping they can be ready for Midas Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
I really hope they can be ready for Midas Gaming.
The famous Midas Gaming, yeah.
Because if Startale take this late, Fnatic have to know that, like, a later game version of a later game, in the late game, brain, they won't be able to make the better decisions. Yeah. They'll be able to have the better team fight. Sure. Even with a stand-in with Street. Like, Street plays with these guys a lot. Like, Street actually plays a lot of Dota.
Of course, and he's not... Anyway, they're going to make the calls for him. I mean, you know, it's gonna... I don't expect him to lead the team in-game. That would be quite interesting, you know? It's like, guys, because he's going to just step up and say, guys, you gave me...
Well, technically, all he's going to do is just feed to take up the role of Trixie. That's all he's going to do. Like, it's fine. It's fine.
That's doable. That's doable. No, but, like, he... might be funny to see him actually step him up, and since you gave me the chance to play, I'm actually going to lead in game, and that's what we're going to draft the guys right now, and that's what we're going to do. No, they will have their strategy going like it usually goes, and actually you have a point, like this Midas Gaming might be a guarantee when you're facing a team that struggles when it comes to decision making and actually pushing in, or really punishing your enemy for its own mistakes. So Midas Gaming might be a security, and I know Fnatic actually quite love their Midases, so. Might be seeing one of those in this game.
Awesome. We're having a small problem loading directly into the game. because I think we've got way too many people
Yeah.
here inside the game.
That's like 20 people, yeah.
There's so many different live streams going out right now. I think we have like a grand total like 15 different live streams going on. But yeah, unfortunately, it seems like we've actually lost one of the most popular casters out there. So Vlad was unable to connect into the game just then. So we'll have to kick another person down the list. It's not as though like 6 broadcaster slots inside of Dota TV is enough for everybody.
It's really funny, like everyone is now getting, you know, the A between those squares or the for the lines every time. Now I see this on Casper. He has his A. His nickname change. Revost had it as well.
Well, depending on like which team people think I'm biased for, they'll like modify my name.
Okay.
So like I'll sometimes have like a Navi logo, or like the A in one will become like an Alliance logo.
We all have been Navi fanboys at one point. At least I was.
Yeah.
When they were dominating the scene. Now it's Alliance. I mean, now it's great. You have so many teams you can pick. You know.
Yeah. It's like I'm a fan of Fnatic, of Alliance,
Like,
of Navi.
there's just too much right now.
It's like wait, how can I be fans of multiple teams? That doesn't work.
Oh,
that doesn't
it
work.
works, just
How are you biased when you cast them both? Oh.
that's really hard.
You just can't cast without bias,
It gets
man.
really hard. Actually, I know some might be like. It's quite funny because some players actually get to cast their own games sometimes, or and they're actually very they criticize a lot their own team. Of course, you used to see your own mistakes more than the others, and might be interesting to see that. I hope this time he gets to load. We're like 19/20. That's quite good, I guess. Or it's not.
I hope right now. I'm still thinking that like the maximum server limit is meant to be
20.
30.
Oh, okay.
30.
I don't know actually. Yeah, 30. Okay.
If it was 29, we're in trouble.
Oh yeah, I meant actually 20 in the
spectators.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, Vlad, please fix yourself.
Vlad, please fix.
The Russians who are broken. Oh wait, no, he's inside the game. Everyone's just blaming Vlad.
That was first.
I don't know where he is. I think he's here in the building. He's actually here in Poland. Yeah, he was.
Actually.
He's here with Casper. Like Casper and Vlad are both
Oh, Casper
here.
is here as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just saw Vlad this morning.
Yeah, they're both set up on location. We have actually have so many more things here than I thought we'd go. Like the fact we have a secret shop.
That's amazing. I didn't expect. Actually, I was quite surprised.
There's some rare things. I was having a chat to the shop owner earlier this morning, and he said there's some rare things which have actually never been sold at the secret shop.
I need to go there. I didn't get the chance to see it yet.
Yeah.
I need to go
they
there.
haven't arrived yet, though. They're stuck in customs.
Oh, come on.
So they've got to get through today,
Oh.
and then they'll be here hopefully.
Yeah, but
Hopefully tomorrow.
you will be casting at this point, and I will be playing because it might be in the afternoon. So.
No, I already had chat, and he's gonna like put some aside. As I'm
Okay.
like,
Or
yeah.
you just like abandon everything. I'm gonna abandon my game, just pause the game and
So I'm gonna Sigma versus Navi right now. Sorry, off to the shop.
secret shop.
Yeah, yeah.
Secret shop pause.
Yeah. And we just we'll like Zoe and Mel can go over and then
Sure.
like get us some stuff. It's like, here's a shopping list, my Christmas list. Zoe, I want an early Christmas present.
That's legit.
It's gonna be like something from the shop.
That's legit.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Wonderful. We'll do like the whole thing of like a gift a day.
Need to kick one. I hope it's not gonna be me.
What? No. Yeah, no, man. You have to watch off my screen now.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I can do that.
It's not as though like you have to look around the map to actually understand what's going on.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, with all the blogs that you've written, you're like, nah, I just sit
Easiest
back.
cast of my life. If I have to watch on your screen and then I don't even know where to. Yeah.
Well, you already had to do that before.
I had to.
Yeah,
It was fine.
Yeah, when we cast a Star Ladder, we couldn't hear each other, and
I hear you perfectly right now. That's why I'm pumped.
This
because
would be like a luxury for
that's-
us.
Yeah, really.
It's the ultimate luxury.
Exactly.
We have ESL doing all the production and all the like. I don't even have to do production. That's wonderful. I'm having a great time here.
Actually, the setup is really great.
Yeah, this is like a holiday for me, as far as like work.
I'm looking at both teams, like Fnatic versus Startale, and I'm just trying to
Don't you think he looks like Hagrid's brother? Like Nortel looks like Hagrid's brother.
definitely. And I always have this Meepo picture where there's just Notail's like face in the Meepo. Like, I just really it confuses me now. It's really it's awkward. Like,
It's a real shame to like. I know we were talking about Meepo. Like I think at every time a Fnatic plays at a tournament, Meepo must be addressed.
Yes, of course.
And we must address the fact that Meepo isn't worth picking right now.
it's impossible in competitive. Honestly, it's
You'll just get destroyed.
Yeah.
You'll get absolutely destroyed.
Just-
In the
yeah.
best of one, they're not going to take that kind of risk. But we're talking about the fact that if Meepo was his older self, like back when the items was like stat share kind of thing, like then it would be legitimate.
He would be viable, especially for this game, actually.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, because
then Notar can play carry.
Exactly. He's playing core, so yeah. I mean, basically, Meepo was like feed level 1, then double feed level 6. Now it's double feed level 4. So it's quite impossible to play Meepo right now, and it's a shame. He's so entertaining to watch. This hero, it's really amazing to see.
All right, we have a new lobby, and it seems like because people will refuse to what?
So.
Okay, password for you. Password for you.
I got this.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Instead of making the big mistake of saying it on the live stream.
I won't.
And then all of a sudden, those wonderful. Actually, I don't even know how many people are tuning in right now, but we can check that out. I think we've got just under 20,000 people currently tuning. Okay, there we go. I have someone in my ear saying 21,000 people are currently tuning in on the live stream. And then we'll have the people in Dota TV as well. So, yeah, shout out to all those people that did buy the tickets.
Yes.
Obviously, if you bought the tickets and you're watching the live stream as well, you're supporting doubly. It's, yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
And that's Cuisine here, getting ready for his next match. Or not at all, I don't know.
It's the preparation.
Yeah, of course.
It's the preparation. I was like, oh, wait, now we just realized we were on screen. Oh.
Can he sim set? Yeah, actually he can.
It's not like with the cameras inside the Korean studios.
Yeah.
Like the second the girls appear on the live stream, it's like, oh.
So they just
like hide. Seems like they're not as shy here in Poland.
No, not at all.
All right, everyone's getting themselves back inside the lobby again. So we'll try for take 4. We'll try for take 4 and get ourselves into this one.
Hopefully we get to load this time.
Yeah. There's nothing like waiting.
And there's no one we can just. I mean, so much quality people in this game. I don't want to remove anyone from this. So it's like we get German cast, Chinese cast, Russian. Like it's amazing how even Polish cast. Yeah. Even the French are here. Or if the French are here, we're fine.
The French are here.
Everybody's here.
You got Lucinia.
Yeah. Everybody's here. That's perfect.
It's the Frog TV boys.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? You guys actually, your French used to have like 3 different streaming services. Like there was Frog TV, there was Dash and Max.
Exactly. There was some other which I don't quite remember.
Yeah, he kind of like disappeared.
Yeah, I guess
Dash
so.
and Max were like the guys who were doing it out of their home, like together.
Yes.
Like, I think they're living together.
Exactly. Dash and Max. Yeah. That's true.
Every cast has been in that kind of situation.
I'm trying. I'm just like trying to think about the future right now. And this Startale versus Fnatic match. I don't know where we're gonna be there, like where we're gonna stand at TI4 or even later, but this might become one of the, like Classico in Dota, actually. If the Korean actually get to their level like they do in other games. So then Startale versus Fnatic of today might be really different from the Startale versus Fnatic in the future. Quite amazing. We're living history right now. It's the first matchup between a Korean team and a European one outside of Korea.
True.
That's great.
Actually, one team.
In ESWC, there was this Korean team.
WCG. WCG.
Well.
Maneski Korea was the team that played, and they played up against a European team, which was the Ukrainian team. It was with Dendi, Havorst, Goblak. Did Fnatic go with that team as well?
Dream team.
Yeah, it was basically WCG separated people into different countries.
Yeah.
So they had to have like nothing but Ukrainians. So it was a very weird compilation team, but it was a Maneski Korean team, which was dropped shortly after that tournament. It was picked up like the day before, and it was dropped the day after.
And look at this first ban.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah, there's no surprise whatsoever. There's no way a Korean team will ever want to face up against a Wisp on Fnatic. It exploits their weakness. Like they were saying, like team fights, decision making is a really hard thing for them to do right now until they get the experience to do it on the fly and do it as an instinct. And a Wisp is a hero that completely exploits that.
It's perfect at punishing, any mistake from any positioning mistake, to snowball as well in team fight. I mean, you take a wrong fight, you lose a hero, then Wisp is just going to chase you down. You're going to lose all team for this. And it's really painful to see. I mean, this Wisp ban is completely fine. It makes complete sense for Fnatic. It's really standard bans. TC and Visage are used a lot. They're great heroes. They don't reveal anything to the draft. To the approach you have to the draft. And Startale removes
the only
two
weird
supports,
thing is the Venomancer, because I thought like Dangerous Prophet again would be like the standard ban, but considering Trixie's not playing, maybe they thought it doesn't have to be banned. Let's focus on our laning with the Venomancer.
You consider that for sure. That's of course a valid point. I mean, when you know a player like Trix is not playing, and of course he's an amazing Nature Prophet player, he also plays TC quite any hero basically, but all the offlane, then those offlane are not really a trouble. But on the other hand, you have another player getting the offlane role, Hani, and maybe he has, or we don't know yet if it's going to be Hani, but that's the most likely option. Then maybe you have other heroes to consider and to worry about.
Yeah. And Clockwork's going to be the first pick up here by Tembert.
Yeah.
And also surprised they overlooked the Lifestealer, one of Era's like core heroes every single time they want to be grabbing.
And
that
it's funny
sucker.
actually.
We go Alchemist, in fact, to start with, and the Nature's Prophet.
And the Nature's Prophet. I want to like talk about the Nakes that you mentioned. I was talking with Era this morning, and he was like, you know, it's really awkward because I basically lost almost all my games with Nakes in this new patch. And he had one of the highest win rates with Nakes back then. I mean, his Nakes it's still amazing, but I guess that's the change of the meta, right?
Yeah.
So it's just harder to get a good lane with Nakes because you get to face often, you know, dual lanes, triple lanes against you. So I think they don't favor Nakes as much as they used to. And that's really interesting. Yeah, the Nature's Prophet is pretty interesting. The Lich pickup as well. Actually, Startale is drafting exactly like Europeans used to draft.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's also because a couple of the Korean players are actually from America and actually used to play in the international teams.
I know that Fabi and March were in USA, right? Before they get to Korea. Yeah.
Yep. I believe actually Fabi used to play with Puppy.
Yeah.
Back in Online Kingdom Nirvana International?
I'm not sure about this, but might be. I mean, he played March. Actually, March
March
used
did
to
that?
play.
Not
Yes,
Fabi.
it was March, yeah.
Okay.
And Fabi used to play, you know, in leagues. He played with PGG, for example. I mean, they're known faces in Europe and USA.
Yeah.
So they bring their knowledge to Korea. That's quite interesting.
You can also hear it in the accent of Tenbert when he was talking before. I was like, that's American or Canadian. I can't tell the difference between the two of them.
No,
sorry.
me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither, for sure. I can tell the French accent, if you want. I can. That guy's French.
You can hear a French accent?
I
think the world can hear a French accent.
I know, but that's the only thing I can
It's like most people could say, oh, that's an Australian. Actually, no, they can't. I was going to say, most people can't actually recognize an Australian accent. They go, oh, so you're English.
I'm not.
It's like, no.
Not.
So you're a Kiwi. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not from New Zealand.
That's quite hard. And then there's your Nexus pick, Dan. I mean, it had to come at one point. It comes in the second phase. It's fine. Insta Invoker pickup. That's interesting.
It's Hani, man. It's Hani. I'm interested to see what they coupled up with. Like, Hani hasn't really relied on... You remember the old combinations when you used to have, like, Lenas and SDs as the supports every single time, and Invoker Sunstrikes everywhere.
That's perfect.
Like, Fnatic hasn't relied on anything like that for the Invoker. They just do it basically with Exorb, see where they're going, and then just go for it. Like, it's no problem. Like, Sprout could even be a sub, and now Frostbite. In fact, that's a semi. Like, it's not going to be enough time, but it's going to be okay for it. But you just go the quick cold snap, go up with your Exort as well, and just destroy the middle lane. That's why I'm a little bit worried about Startale right now. Mirana, Earthshaker, Lich, Clockwork. I'm almost hoping that this is like an aggressive tri-lane from them, and then they get someone that can lane up against the Invoker as the last.
I mean, what's interesting is that, of course, Invoker, Exort, I mean, can also be, you know, Quaswex, but usually Hani plays it Exort, and I think it makes sense in this lineup to play Exort as well. With the Cloud from Alchemist, actually huge damage output. It's really hard to take a fight against this kind of lineup, especially with the Nature's Prophet ultimate. So, I mean, right now, everything is open. Of course, Invoker is most likely to be mid, although he can be run on safe lane. It's, of course, almost impossible to run it off lane. Actually, now that I think about it, in Dota 1, people, I mean, it disappeared in Dota 2, but people used to run Invoker Quaswex with Boots first as an offlaner. He would get Ghost Walk pretty fast, and, I mean, could be viable sometimes.
You could still run him on the bottom lane. Like, as you said, like, we're still going to remember, like, I've been looking at this and actually forgot about Street. But if you run Hani on that Invoker on the middle lane, give a hero to Notal. It could still even be the Prophet. Hani's even done that himself when they run the mid lane Prophet. And then you run the Crystal Maiden Alchemist aggressive. It may not even be Era on that Alchemist. It could be a support Alchemist in this scenario. and then you can just go full-on aggression, and that way you hold the hands. In fact, it's going to be an Enchantress, so it will be Era's Alchemist in this game.
And it's funny because Fnatic has been playing, and that, yeah, we see Fnatic going together, even for a game like this. That's amazing, really. But that's really important to keep this spirit.
Every game is important, like especially in this kind of series. Like it's a best of one. You don't want to go, well, let's underestimate the Koreans. Oh crap, we're now down the bottom part of the bracket going up against the Serbians.
Of course,
that's going to be like a game which, like, you know, the Serbians have come here with like some fun, funky things.
Matters. Every game matters.
Yeah,
of course. And the Enchantress pick, it's a pick Fnatic use a lot lately. Enchantress and Chen, they love to have this mobility on the map. They use it almost like it's really perfect usage from them. And the Storm pickup.
I'm really not sure about the Storm pickup. Like, I understand its logic to go up against the Nature's Prophet, but I'm wondering about his laning potential.
They have so much burst damage for him as well. He's going to get instant. Like, one Archie stun, he's dead insta, of course. I mean, the physical damage output from Invoker, Exert, Enchantress with the Cloud, even the Nature's Prophet, you know, base damage is quite good. Fnatic has a really scary lineup. On the other hand, the laning should be... I mean, Startale can do a lot with those lanes. Lich can go anywhere and, like, mess any lane. And honestly, the Enchantress pick comes as an answer to the Lich pick, in my opinion. Because what Lich gives you strong lanes, right? So the only way to actually beat Lich is to break those lanes somehow or get kids ganks. And what hero is better than Enchantress like doing that?
Pugna.
Yeah.
But he was banned.
But he was banned. No, but Fnatic has a really strong lineup right now. A lot of gankings to expect with Enchantress and Nature's Prophet.
Yeah. So let's actually run through our lines quickly. So we'll have Era heading up towards the top lane as our Alchemist. It'll be Hani's Invoker. Nortel, the Micro Master, as the Enchantress. Street as our manager standing in for Trixie, playing the role as the Crystal Maiden. And then down as the last one, it will be Fly, who takes up the Nature's Prophet. So for once, he gets to actually have farm, which is nice for him. And then the Startale boys. We've got YK. He'll be walking around as our Clockwork. JYU will be the Marana. It puts Gundy as the Lich. A little bit further over, we'll put Tenbird as the Earthshaker. And leaves our last one, the mid-solo, being played by MP, who will be the Storm Spirit down there. So Clockwork, I really wish him the best of luck here, because I don't see him really being able to stop this push. You talk about Enchantress being able to push it down. If Lich is up here, he's pulling the creep wave back too. Clockwork pops off Cogs, and then instantly he could be ganked. Especially if there's going to be a smoke from Nortel, which he's already got one in his inventory. And that's just going to be a loop around past the secret shop. And then they're really going to be in trouble.
Yes, they will be looking for a lot of ganks. That's for sure. I mean, I'm still not sure what Startale is up to. It looks like they want to put Lich and Clockwork offlane and just deny farm from this Alchemist. It actually makes sense. You know, with Lich and Clockwork, you can just deny, and Clockwork can just block the pool spawn with the rockets. And then, as a safe lane, you get basically nothing. You can't pull creeps, and you're just facing a Lich on the lane, which is never good. So that lane, Lich Clockwork, is insanely good on offlane.
I'm watching Fly's attempt to body block this creep wave on the bottom lane. He's doing a pretty good job so far.
Even though he has boots.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard.
Wait, what? No, it's just troublesome. He's got the range creep out the front, but didn't block up any of the camps. So these camps are easy for the ES just to pull over. I'm wondering about this combination on the bottom lane. Like, you know probably better than any other team right now the power of something like a Bane as well as the Marana together. I'm wondering the synergy they're trying to find with this Earthshaker. Like, Fly is going to now spot out the Earthshaker, but he's back far enough, especially with boots, even if there is going to be a Sprout. Even if there is going to be a Fissure trying to lock him in position, he can still probably almost outrun the Earthshaker, so he won't get stunned a second time or anything like this.
I mean, Prophet is not used. Actually it is. Never mind. It's used a lot still, but he's a great hero to have against a double lane because you can always scout the supports with your treants. And you look at Shaker, he can't do anything against those treants. And so Fly should have a good time.
Hani just had a better time. Tornadoes win lanes. Looks like top lane is already a little bit of fun. Era locked inside some cogs, a little bit too close towards the tower, but he's going to be okay. But this Wild Wing is now here from Enchantress in the middle lane. So Storm Spirit, the life just went from like slightly bad with up against the Invoker to absolutely horrendous.
Yep. And that's a cool decision from him to decide to farm this tag, but it's actually harder now since the patch. Before that used to be the... Like, he's farming the camps, it was easier before, now it's a bit harder, of course. Yeah, Fly is actually doing great. I mean, he has good levels. He's going to be level 3 soon with the next wave. And then he's actually able to gank if he decide to get the Sprout as his third ability.
He's just not like it this right now. The creep wave split into two. So we couldn't find as many last hits as he probably would have wanted out of all of these lanes.
Actually, he decides to get Student level 2, which is fine, but I think with Storm has one tango left with Invoker, you know, Cold Snap and Sprout from Prophet, it's actually a kill every time they decide to go on Storm. So they might do this when he's level 4.
Especially a gank before he hits level 6.
And that's interesting. Shaker's going... Okay, actually, no, it's just harassment.
Yeah, the downside about Storm Spirit, like he can't run himself in. Like we're not looking at like a brute versus Storm Spirit with a high movement speed. We're not looking at a Storm Spirit with level 6 who can jump in and then just vortex the Invoker back again.
Yeah.
And even if he does do so, like in these early levels, he doesn't have a mana pool to support that. Top lane, we have Notar going to rotate over, so he's already smoked up. And this is what I was talking about. It's the preparation to dive. And you've got a Wild Wing Ripper who should stick with him. Like the toughness aura is going to allow him to tank up a lot of this tower. Mirana's not looking too healthy in the bottom lane. In fact, Fly harassing him out. There's a fish that's already been used. And there's your gank on top lane. So Alchemist done over on the Clockwork. Street is very, very low on the sidelines. And they've got to pick off YK for Gandhi. Salve is already popping up. The battery assault, first blood. It goes to the Koreans. But it will be 2 return kills right now. YK actually picks up a double kill. He got the Alchemist as well. Gandhi locked in the tree line, but the army of undead walking towards him. He's trying to juke his way out with the trees, but it's just not possible. The new TP's on the way in, and Gandhi, he's managed to stall this up a hell of a lot. Temper's going to be the one to TP him, but he's got no mana. He can't totem stop. He can't fissure. And now the troll trap. Notal, he can't finish this one off. Not with the Clockwork coming with another battery assault as well as the cogs. That's why Notal's already popped off the heal. He doesn't have another troll trap trying to keep the... oh, there's your battery assault. Street comes in, the Nova, the cogs, a little bit out of position. Couldn't lock them all in, and Gandhi lets off the frost, but with the Alchemist having that acid spray down, it's a good fissure onto Notal, but not enough to pick him off, and it's 3-2. Fnatic find themselves in a little bit too deep there.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, Shaker had to TP. I mean, I don't know. The TP was actually a smart decision, but the fact that he had no mana to Fisher was actually a problem for Startale. They could have got a kill on Enchantress for sure.
Yep.
Great dive from Fnatic. Really good answer from Startale. Actually, the stick usage, the stick was key from Clockwork. He was able to get some life point back, so he could actually survive the go. Yeah, pretty good move from Fnatic. They actually, honestly, Era is doing really well on this top lane. He should have less farm, I think, because of the Lich Clockwork lane. Right now, he's doing great.
Oh, YK's in trouble.
And that's a kill.
The concoction's already prepping up, so they use the Frostbite just to stall up from the acid spray down and the Hellbear clap coming in. Again, the one charge will pop up from the Clockwork, but he's just unable to survive.
Enchantress is level 5 already thanks to this dive. That's huge. I mean, he got level 3 heal.
She survived through everything. It's still 1-0-3 coming out from Notal.
And I think that might be a hand of Midas. I mean, we're getting closer to the famous, 1k 900 gold, and might be a hand of Midas from Enchantress. On the other lanes, yeah.
It'll be Midas into Aghanims or something like that.
Might be, and that's very scary to play against.
Unless you're a Storm Spirit with mana, then you're okay with that, because it's like, oh, disjoint.
And this move top gave so much space to Fly to actually, I mean, he's already almost level 6 right now. He has more level than Bottom, so that's huge. They're going to play with the Nature's Prophet ultimate against very squishy heroes such as Storm Spirit and Lich and Shaker even.
Actually, another interesting note too is the fact that Nature's Prophet didn't TP in for that top fight.
That's correct.
He stayed forever. Yep. I get one TP in with a mass army of trees, and it's possible that dive maybe wouldn't have been as bad for Fnatic. I say definitely bad when they came out 3-2.
And you can also see the smart rotation from Fly. He's now hiding because Shaker is missing, and Shaker was actually smoked, and was going to he's looking for him on the bottom lane, but just pretty good map awareness from Fly, just going to the jungle, not feeding a kill, and keeping on farming with Nature's Prophet, which is quite important for this hero.
It's almost at this point too, which you want to just nerd out the fact that Fnatic used to run a strat with the roaming Earthshaker. So
on Honey, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was back in the days when you just abandoned the top lane because it was impossible to win the lane. And then the creep positions were changed up a little bit more as far as their movement goes. So it was a hell of a lot better for them.
Yeah.
Flyer's coming top lane. He's got a DD rune as well. So with the Prophet ultimate, there is no way this tower can be defended. Like, they lose the Satyr. That's one upside right now for Startale. That Enchantress lost one of his creeps. But Clockwork as well, so Lich can't counter push this. Like, if you had a Coddle, even then you couldn't do it because there's just enough life points on the Fnatic lineup that just keep on pushing and pushing and pushing.
And actually, Honey is playing Aquas, this Invoker, so it makes it really tanky. He has almost 1k HP. Storm and Shaker were looking for a gank mid, but it's really hard to dive this Invoker. I mean, he has 4 Spirit, so it's a lot of damage. Plus, he has almost 1k HP already, and we're not even minute 7. So it's really hard for Shaker to find openings right now, even if he wants roam. Yeah,
top lane. Yep, YK again inside the well with the concoction, but inside the acid spray. Era's going to go down. It was a good fissure as well as Frostbite being returned from the supports.
I mean, I want to mention that honestly, we have really good rotation from Tenbird. I mean, sometimes he gets late because Fnatic, of course, is playing really well, and when they go for a kill and with the ult he made, and it's so much burst damage. But Shaker is always where he needs to be.
Oh,
I still, yeah, right.
Sorry.
That's 2 Midas.
I cringe. I cringe every time.
There you go.
Every time.
And that's so one for Invoker, one for No Tail, and of course, Prophet is going for Midas.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
He just needs a little bit more money for it. I don't know if Era's going to want to do the same kind of thing. Because right now he's walking around with like 880 gold.
He might, because he's quite poor. And I mean, what's a better item than Midas to catch up, right? So
that's true. And he needs the experience. That's one of the biggest things. Oh, Storm Spirit. He's got level 8. He's fine.
Yeah.
But as far as someone like an Alchemist, like we always looked at him now with the changes to his Chemical Rage, like we've got to look to get him up to level 16. But we're going to jump over in, well, maybe in a moment. Right now, MP going to go on to Hani. The Orange Spirits are down Hani because he's got that 1 point up in the Wex. He's able to go in Invis, and Tenbird, well, he's going to get locked inside the Sprout. About to go down. Clockwork. YK is a long latch in on the top of Street, pushing him back. The Frostbite's going to go down, but the leap up to the Startfall Street, he'll die in the middle of that one. The Property still bouncing through him, but Startale, somehow only one support from either side went down. But let's listen to the teams after that fight. Oh, no, we're not. So, I had in my ear saying we're going to listen to the teams, and then was like, okay, we're not going to do that right now, are we?
This fight was actually quite good for Fnatic, although, I mean, Startale have so much burst damage that if Fnatic goes for some like a wrong move or really bad decision making, then Startale can really catch up. I mean, Lich is getting level 6 now. Shaker, okay, he's almost, like, he's still level 4, but, like, from the bottom, the Clockwork and the Lich, you get so much magical damage output. Fnatic is still vulnerable for this because they have Midases, they're not really tanky right now. Like, Enchantress basically gets killed by 1 Nova plus Lich ultimate. It's one shot. Lich can just take a smoke and go kill Enchantress alone. So, we can still see Startale. I mean, right now the game is quite even, I have to say. Of course, Fnatic has the upper hand because they get those Midases and they still didn't lose a tower. But we might see Startale forcing fights at one point. I feel like it would be the right decision from them. And yeah, that's a Midas for Alchemist. Of course it is.
We're going a Pfeiffer right now if Street's able to find some farm.
Come on, Street.
Yeah.
Give me that Midas, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, obviously, you got to be part of the cool crowd, never hand a Midas.
Of course. Trixie would have gone for Midas, man. I mean, you're replacing Trixie, just get a Midas.
Trixie's feed never lets him get a hand of Midas.
Stick to the plan.
Middle lane push going to come in. Concoction does fly down to Tenbird. I don't know exactly how Era managed to get that acid spray up before it connected. Either way, it was a little bit deeper and behind the tower too. So this is making life very, very difficult for Startale to come in close. But then you see Clockwork repositions up on the high ground, and now he's going to try and latch in. And he's looking for Street. There's the fissure already, and he got Street perfectly. But also now, because the fissure has spotted the rest of his team, the rest of Startale is trying to pick up Era. Storm Spirit will jump up there, but the Clockwork, because he went so far in, he get the Fnatic support from jumping over the fissure. But it's a 1-for-1 trade. Alchemist for the clock.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of miscommunication coming off from Startale. Of course, Alchemist was under the tower. You can't ignore him. You have to kill him and burst him down. Clockwork jumped a little bit too far. I feel like he could have waited for his hook. It's still a really good trade for them, of course, getting the Alchemist against the Clockwork. So you see, that's the problem I have with Midas. I mean, you decide to get Midas on Prophet, on Ench, Alchemist, and Invoker. That's like 8k gold. You could get a mech, a drum, whatever you want. And then you decide to push mid. And they could have stomped this fight with 8k gold more. I mean, if you have mech for this fight, it's easy. I mean, you can tank all the damage from coming out from Lich and Clockwork, and it would be, I don't know, tier 1 tower, rush, and the game would be almost over. I mean, getting Midas is fine, but you just need to adapt to, I mean, you know, to have, has to be relevant. So if you want to get Midas and farm, then just go for farm, not pushing in against a line. I feel like really Startale has the chance to burst Fnatic down when they push in. It might be really a turning point for the game if Fnatic decide to go for this C1 tower again.
Man, I kind of can still feel it. Like you're saying, like if you're going to get minus, then go and farm. But at the same time, you want to make sure you secure your farm. You need to take out T1 towers in order to do that and keep him back. As I completely miss a kill. Looks like Clockwork managed to latch himself in, and Profit goes down. That's with the help of the Mirana.
He's level 9, so it's huge levels for Mirana and Clockwork. That's a really good kill from them. I mean, the game is still really deadly even because, of course, they lost their tier 1 top and they're going mid. They're going
Storm, is he really going to be able to do this one? Harney with the Fidget following up. They can. Sentry wards go down so they can see him if he jumps invis with a Frostbite. Now Notel gets him a little bit of heal and that impetus damage. MP, he basically blew his entire mana pool trying to kill off Harney then. Yeah,
good reaction from Fnatic. This Invoker is really tanky. I mean, he has 8 armor and 1k HP. It's really hard to burst him down. They need more damage right now. They need way more damage.
But that means they need to have more items, they need to have more farm. But I'm not seeing it right now on Storm Spirit. Like, he's 1-1-1 with treads as well as another talisman 12 minutes in. Like, we're not even going to think about an Orchid on him for at least another 10 minutes. And then what are you going to do? 10 bird? He has to keep walking back to base all the time. He hasn't been able to afford up Arcane Boots just yet, even though 12 minutes in is having the 1 death and 1 assist to his name. Lich has ultimate, that's great. All the money that Startale's got, with Tower also going down the bottom lane, last hit going the way of Mirana, it's all inside the Mirana. She's got 2,500 gold on that hero, the highest CS on the board, not the highest net worth, but she's only behind by 50 of the Invoker.
Honestly, Startale is not looking bad in this game right now. I mean, of course, like you mentioned, they will have to strike now, because if they wait 10 to 20 minutes more with the 4 and probably 5 Midas, because I mean, CM is not spending gold, so that's a Midas as well, I would guess. Then it's going to be really hard, and of course they have Alchemist, and he farms so fast. He already has 1 level in Graves Grid. I mean, they will have, and that's what they're doing. They're smoking. I like the decision from Startale. They're smoked under the tier 2 tower top. That's a really good decision. They need to force something right now, and they really can. They're in a good position for that.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to the Startale team chat. I believe, well, actually, we'll probably get a Fnatic because the scenery is English. Let's see what they're going to say.
따라와봐.
기다려봐. 저거 분명히
가봐.
들어가.
아, 너 내가 너를 막았는데?
아, 시간이 생겼어요, 시간.
아.
All right, so I believe that was Startale, considering Fnatic. I heard here actually, Notel screaming himself up. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Fnatic, or actually they have a weird way to communicate with each other.
They're now communicating in Korean for some reason. Yeah.
It's interesting. I like the go. Like, that's something I really enjoy in Dota, but no, it's actually a great kill they got on Alchemist.
Fly might be in a little bit of trouble here on the bottom lane. With the Starfall going to come on him. He's going to TP himself away, but there's just not enough time with the DPS coming out from Mirana.
Nice play.
He popped up the drum chant so he can get there a little bit faster as well, just in case.
Really good
While
play
in middle lane, we've got Era. He's getting dragged back. He'll never get the stun off. So we get another gank off here from Startale.
Man, Startale is playing really aggressive. That's really amazing to see right now. They're just forcing the issues everywhere. I mean, of course, we said that they might like some game understanding. Right now, it doesn't show it at all.
Yeah.
They are the one having the better game understanding. I mean, they understand that against those Midases, they need to force it. They gank top, they gank bottom, they killed mid. It's very interesting. They will and then mid again.
He tried it. Now the cold snap. This is going to be really troublesome.
Nice.
Look at the Sunstrike position, but with the cogs, he locked himself in position. Yeah. But he keeps the rest of Fnatic away from his team.
And it's exactly, I mean, that's what I was about to say. I mean, even though Startale can get kills with their lineup, it's really hard to push in towers. Against Invoker and Alchemist, it's really hard. Especially because they have nothing to break towers. They have only ganking potential with this lineup.
Yeah. Looks like Fnatic are now going to give... Yeah, they realize that the hook shot's on cooldown, Clockwork's on the sidelines, so they're going to come in and try and do Roshan. And with the Forged Spirits, they get the negative armor. And I think we've got... we should put 1 point up in Alacrity for the Invoker, but Startale, they're going to try and contest this. Fissure, instant call snap by Hani.
They don't have Lich ultimate and no mana on Shaker. It's really unlikely they can contest it, or they need to be really fast. With bottom arrow, actually, they have a good setup, but... Fnatic decides to go back. I guess they don't see that. Oh, actually, they had a ward. Okay. So Fnatic has vision on them. It might be a great fight for Fnatic. Honestly, it's hard for Startale to... Roshan fights are so crucial at this stage of the game.
No.
It can turn the game.
And so if Fnatic... they're gonna reinsert right now, but this is like the worst time if they do. Hook shot's up. Lich ulti's up. Mirana Arrow, always up, or normally. You don't need the Echo Slam right now. It's just a fissure to hold Fnatic in the pit, and then they're dead.
And you can see the Midas effect on the gold graph right now. Of course, there was a phase when it wasn't, but right now it's starting to deep down. And that's the Midas being used, and of course the experience graphs as well. That's, yeah. I mean, it's really a tough situation for Startale. It's going to be all about this Russian fight and what they can get of it. And what Fnatic is doing right now is quite interesting. They're just baiting Startale into thinking they're going Rush, and they're getting farm for it.
Yeah. Well, they're wasting the time of Startale as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just the Fnatic getting farm, it's the fact that Startale are holding off. Like, Era's trying to bring down the Ancient stack right now. Also, interesting build for him to go. We're going to see the unkillable Alchemist attempt, with Vitality Booster being the first part of it all. But this could be just like very much like the Doombringer build we saw from Fnatic, where it's just like Heart and AC, and then you can't kill them.
I mean, as Startale right now, you need to just calm down and say, okay, just scout us with rockets, don't let them get it, but you can't just be 5 around this area. You're just going to get out-farmed that badly that you're going to lose the game on such a move. So it's really hard. It's a hard spot for them right now, and if they're not experienced, it's even harder.
Yeah.
But right now they're adapting. When they want to force mid tower, it's the best decision. It's better to get this space against around Russian, but again against Alchi, Era instantly TPs. It's really hard to push in against this Cloud.
Well, he's already farming up on the top lane, leaves the remaining space to Hani.
Yeah.
And Hani now does his signature build, BT's first on the Invoker.
It's so greedy. He's going to get so fat. Like, he's going to get really, really fat on this Invoker. He's going to farm the whole map and push with the 4 spirits. And look at Clockwork. He's so Alchemist. That might be an opening if they wait for the Alchemy to... Yeah, but Street is just waiting here.
Street's in the neighborhood. Also look at Street not going the Hand of Midas, Medallion of Courage. And Clockwork will actually, he can kill off Street. Like, there's no reason why he can't just like battery assault.
With the arrow from bottom, that's an easy kill on Maiden, but well.
Cog him.
There he
Cog
goes.
him, battery assault.
That's a kill.
And no arrow required for this one, but it will snipe out the kill anyway. But now Concoction, Meteorite being dropped down by Hani. They're going to put him under invis, and he hook shots himself away to safety, using the one charges to ensure he didn't burn to death as well.
Well played.
Yeah. Man, Startale doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
This is the reason why you never underestimate any kind of team, especially in a best of one. If Fnatic went for some kind of trollish pickups, then they would be in a really, really bad position right now.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it's a shame they can't push towers starting right now, and it will really hurt them. And if they ever lose this game, it might be because of this. Right now, they could put pressure on Fnatic if they could open the map, but it's impossible for them to do so. This Rush fight might be interesting. They have Lich ultimate, they're smoked. They can even take a fight without Clockwork. They can team wipe Fnatic.
Fissure it right now. That Lich ulti, there's a Storm Spirit jumping in. Roshan's already pretty low, and he does go down there. It's got snatched. Lich will take it, even though he just died. That Lich ultimate bouncing back and forth between Street as well as Era. But with a cold snap over on Lich, he'll go down. Deafening blast. It's a lot of damage to MP. Street, he actually frostbites up Temper, and MP has a second thought to jump back in again. Earthshaker will get the kill. JYU's on the run back out of there.
There you go. It's like I steal Aegis, and on my way back, that's a Maiden for me. Great play from the
It's like, man, I forgot something. I jump back in there, get my keys.
All right, just I'm taking you with me, right? Great play from MP. That's really good. I don't know if they got the last hit on Rush. I need to check that.
No, it went to Dire. That's why the Aegis said it was snatched by the Storm Spirit.
Right. So I mean, it's still something to get right now. They deny the Aegis from Fnatic, and at least they don't have this concern anymore. Rush is down.
Yeah, and Storm gets the first item, which I always look for on him. The Orchid is now up and running.
That's huge.
So now we're going to take one of the big players out of Fnatic. It can be anybody in this scenario.
He can solo kill anyone. He can even solo kill Alchi if he's not in ulti form, of course.
Yep.
Easy solo kill on Alchi. Yep. Really.
But it's mainly meant for Fly. But you also see the way Fly approached this too. He's like, well, you're going to get Orchid. I can still use my items. And that's the reason why 4-Staff was his first item here. It's not Shadowblade. It's nothing like this. He goes straight to the 4-Staff.
And when you think about it, I was about to say Storm can roam the map and put so much pressure, but Hani is almost having, like, he has Orchid and like 300 gold. So it's, I mean, Storm can't pressure that well. I mean, he might get a kill on flight top though, if he sees him. Yeah, that's a kill.
There's jump.
Oh.
But then Orchid, 4-Staff, and this is the downside right now. When you got the Orchid already early up, like, it's good. Yeah. But you don't have a mana pool to support the chase of a 4-Staff.
I guess he was scared. He didn't see anyone, so he wouldn't, you know, give it a try. And Hani can always TP himself with his boots on travel, and defending blast is really a good spell against Storm. He can just burst him down during that. So
man, we're doing this again for Startale.
Yeah,
like, I love the fact they're getting kills, but they're not getting it really back on the golden experience because again they're 4-manning up this middle lane, and every time Fly is TPing to the off lanes and keeping him pushed out. He could throw his ulti off right now and it'll force all of Startale back from this mid tower.
Even to get the tower deniable is worth it at this point. They really need to force this tower down. Just let them deny it. Do something about it. We need to open the map right now.
Are they going to deny it off?
It's fine.
Yep,
it's fine. It's still a win for Startale. And
Bottom
Storm
lane,
going bottom.
Storm Spirit, yeah, he's going to jump on top of Fly.
That's a
Fly, yep, the Orchid's going to make him trigger out, and
Nice
there she goes. But at the same time, just before he died, Belt of Strength, Staff of Wizardry, he doesn't lose any gold from that death.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, he can still buy, but it's a good level for Storm. He's level 14, almost 15. I mean, this Storm is doing great, man. He's level 15, he's the highest level on the game, and he's facing Midas heroes. So, great game from MP right now.
But the longer he waits, he's got to keep getting more of these kills.
Yeah.
Like, 12 to 11 isn't enough in my mind. Because you're still getting Enchantress. Like, Aghanim Scepter is not too far away, only about 2,000 gold. Era's going to come in for a stun. MP, this time he'll jump, but you can't disjoint the concoction.
Yeah,
so, Orchid, and that was from Hani TPing himself in with the BTs.
And
they get a kill, they'll transition to the tower.
Yeah, Notate is getting closer to this Aghanim Scepter. He's 1k roughly away. That might be huge on Enchantress as well.
Bottom lane, there she goes.
Yeah, easy tower for Fnatic. The pushing power of Invoker Exort is just insane.
I'm still waiting for that 1 point up in Alacrity. I haven't seen it yet.
On Enchantress with Aghanims, that's gonna be scary.
That's not nice.
So, no.
That's not nice. Top lane, Street's going to TP himself in here. Managed to get the Nova off. Sunstrike. Oh, Clockwork. Hook shots him down. I thought for a moment he'd actually get himself hit by that Sunstrike while he's hook shotting himself away.
Bottom is going for Manta style. I mean, of course, it's because to counter the Orchids from Invoker, it's needed at this point. He could also die on his own on the map, so that's interesting as well. It's just right now, like, the story of this game. It started getting out-farmed, but having really good reaction, taking the right fights at the right moment. So I'm pretty sure they can still come back. I mean, goals mean something, of course, but it doesn't mean, it doesn't decide the game. You get a good fight, doesn't matter, 10k gold behind, you just still win the game. So this game is still really open right now. Of course, Startale is under pressure, as Fnatic is really out-farming them. They need to, like, find those openings right now.
Yeah. But that means moving, that means smoking, that means rotations. It means more than just a line on this top lane saying, let's look out through the top area.
But I'm really surprised by Startale, honestly. I think they're playing a great game right now. And sure, I mean, they might be less experienced, but they're not showing it at all right now.
Yeah. The whole overview, though, like, I still think Startale, like, know what's going wrong, but they just don't have a way to stop what's going wrong.
Yeah.
Like, Era's getting so much money.
Yeah.
And he's getting so many levels as well.
But,
like, I'm really just concerned more of Startale for the global picture. They're ganking, their movement, it's been right. They haven't been really fully baited in, but Fnatic know how to play against this kind of style. They're just stalling it up. They're running Midas, they're running Split Push, they're running Greevil's Greed Alchemist anyway. They don't have to care too much. He's almost finished up the full AC. In fact, he's flying out. He's got the full AC.
Yeah, and that's huge for the fights. He's going to be really hard to burst down. I mean, they have, since bottom was forced to get Manta style because of the Orchid from Invoker, then they really lack physical damage. And it's going to be really hard to kill him when he's in ulti form with all the armor he got. I mean, it's exactly like what you said. I mean, Startale understands what's going on and what they need to do. They just don't know how to do it. But it's not really them to blame, because I don't really know what they can do right now. They don't have anything to push towers, and it's really hard for them to roam the map because of the Invoker global presence with Prophet and with the Orchids. It's really a tough spot for them. I guess they just have to find the right openings and punish Fnatic for every mistake they do.
How are they even supposed to push out the towers then?
Yeah.
Like what are you supposed to do? Like, where is their tower pusher? Is Mirana meant to be that? Storm definitely isn't that. Clockwork isn't that. You got two different initiators in this lineup. All right, so let's go to Fnatic, because they're going to smoke gank it up. So let's listen to them.
Clock is around here. I think they're going to be middle. Mid-tower to some. Yeah, they're around middle. Clockwork's around middle. Yeah, he's in here. I'm going to get a ward out here. I'm going to get a ward out.
Want to back to mid with my LC?
Yeah, I think we should just go for the mid-tower. We're ready to go for the kills.
I'm ready to join if something happens.
All right. So as Andy said, he was ready to join if something happened, but nothing ended up happening. They were spotted out by the Observer and Sentry ward.
Yeah.
They won't realize it, but
the ward Notail plays is actually key, because all the rotation that's going to happen between the mid lane and the woods, you can see from this ward. And it's a spot you usually don't think about when you go to unward, because, I mean, Of course, obviously, you put wards on hills because it gives the greater vision.
Yeah.
But so this ward, it's not really natural to put. Then it's not natural to counter ward. So it ends up being a great ward, you know, to put.
Yeah.
And yeah, it will give Fnatic a lot of ganking potential with Prophet and Hani being able to sunstrike anywhere on the map. Lich is gonna have a hard time.
I'm wondering too if they thought it through as much as you just did then. It could just been we need to see on the other side of the tree line.
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm pretty sure that they know that as a support player, this ward is really important, and it was also the occasion to find someone. So of course, two things at the same time. They're looking for a smoke. They might catch Fly there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he has vision on him yet. Yeah, he doesn't.
There's observer wards over on the side, but there's no sentries to go with it.
The problem is that Storm wasn't in the smoke, and Prophet goes back for solo Storm anyway. So he actually revealed what was going on. They would just get the tower for it, I guess.
Yeah, it becomes a trade-off though. It'll be a tier 1 for a tier 2 because Fnatic's already pushing out the bottom lane, and they're pushing out the bottom lane with now, well, soon to be level 3 Necro units once the courier flies it out to Fly. And Fly, actually, they can hold both because the Prophet only bounces through the top. It kills off the creep wave. Yeah, and with the glyph, with everything else, Fnatic can look for a better trade-off. They've got an army of Treants. They've also got, well, they don't have the catapult with them anymore. But they've got Alpha Wolves a little bit further down, so everyone's got bonus damage on this bottom lane. The top lane is still being attempted here by JYU as well as MP to finish the job. And they do have a catapult, but yeah, there you go. Tower trade, tier 2 for tier 1. Even with the fortification at the last 20 seconds, last 20 life points, no one's going to come in to stop that, and Mirana still gets the last hit.
Yeah. The thing is that Mirana and Storm are keeping up with the farm and the XP from coming out from Fnatic, but the problem is that Clockwork, Shaker, and Lich can't really farm. You know, they're not farming heroes. They're looking for fights, and they're being really, really out-farmed and out-experienced. It's going to be hard for them to catch up. I mean, Shaker's level 9. Sure, CM is level 9, but when you look at Notail, he's level 13. He's 4-0. He has a Ganem. He has huge farms. Same goes for Fly, and same goes for Hani. That's where the XP and gold difference comes from. And of course, Alchemist with his Surge spell, just all farming the opponent's carry. That's what Alchemist does anyway.
Yeah. I want to give props to Street right now. 149.
149.
He's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing well. He was in 10 kill over 12. He got that. He got that game.
The only thing we haven't seen from him is a good ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right now there's no fight, so
you see exactly what like Fly was saying during the interview before this game was going to start off. We just give him aura.
He's maxing aura. That's quite funny. That's really quite funny.
And he just sits there, so everyone else can have some mana.
Enjoy the max aura maiden, because that's not something you usually see. So
no,
that's the manager for you.
Even like it's like your maximum points you'll ever get up is like 3 points maybe until you finally hit like level 14.
I mean, Nova's such a big spell, not getting it. Well, I guess the aura is like Prophet can just spam Treants. It's fine.
We're going to 5-man fight, but at the same time now is the Heart arrives. So Heart and AC on Alchemist, 29 minutes in. Yeah. Doesn't have the Chemical Rage, but they're already prepping the concoction, and it's going to fly down to JYU. He leaves himself down, and Gunny makes the right choice, backing up then, so there's no AoE stun. But there's no follow-through coming up as well from Fnatic. They're just waiting it out.
They have Mech, they have Dagger on Shaker, and they have BKB on Storm. Those are 3 items extremely needed for Startale, and as unlikely as it might seem, they actually can win a fight if they get it right. It's really hard.
They're losing in the trade, though. Like the tier 2 tower on the top lane.
Yeah, they have to open the fight. They have to. But again, it's so hard against Exort, Invoker, and Cloud. They can just like clear the creep wave in one Nova.
Storm coming in very, very close there to Notail. And the Sentry Ward went down from Fnatic. They throw down an Observer Ward too, so they can see what's coming in through the high ground. And Concoction again with the Orchid. Impetus MP is so totally toast. Yeah. And then YK, he jumps in, but Tornado will send him straight up and towards the air. Arrow will connect on Era, but Era, he's just tanking this up. He's not even level 16, but he's got so many life points to get through. An Armor Sunstrike will take out the Lich on the way back out again. There will be the BKB TP out by Clockwork. Concoction, it was like the shortest channel, and it's all he needed to stop that TP out. And now Fly, Sprout as well, blinks away. The attack never came out. So the Blink Dagger never went on cooldown, but with 2 heroes on the sideline, you know Fnatic's going to push.
It's really hard for Startale to take a fight. A great decision-making from Fnatic. They know Storm has BKB. They still understand that they can burst him down in one Alki stun, which you can dodge, by the way, with Storm Spirit. Or actually, maybe you can, but you have to blink in the exact opposite way. You need to blink forward instead of blinking back if you want to dodge it. But anyway, great win for Fnatic. This fight was huge. They got Storm. They got Lich as well. They out-farmed. I mean, his Prophet was farming till the very end of the fight, and they got a tower out of it. Roshan is back. They would be looking for Rush. I mean, they have a very easy lineup to get it. They have Medallion, Alchemist, Cloud, Prophet. They have the best lineup basically to get Rush right now.
Era taking out the ancient area. JYU threw an arrow over there just to have a bit of a look, but
and that's almost a 20k gold lead. It's pretty huge right now. I'm really looking forward to see if Startale can come back somehow. On one hand, if you think about it, they have a very good lineup at fighting uphill. It's very hard, even for Alchemist with full items. If bottom gets some sort of damage, which she's getting right now, she's going for the Monkey King bar, I believe. And against Clockwork Lich Shaker, it's basically a nightmare to go uphill. It's really hard. You get just burst down by spells, and you can just get cogged or fissured, whatever. And they're looking for bottom top.
Yeah, No-Tail's coming up behind him with an Invis rune.
They need to force the leap, and they might kill him, but it's kind of hard.
In that case, if they're going to force the leap, though, like you force the leap from here, which means No-Tail has to be down here.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be the plan. So you get the maximum amount of time to attack, unless you want to start buying blink daggers on enchantresses.
But anyway, Storm and Shaker are ready, so it might not be a good idea. No-Tail is going to be revealed soon. He has to run left. Yeah, they don't know he's here.
He's back into the corner to TP out.
Yeah, TP out, fine. And this ward is doing work right now. I mean, they see Clockwork, they know what's going on. They have also, oh, it just disappeared, but they have a ward right outside of Startale base. So they always know, I mean, against those gankers, against Storm Spirit with Orchids, against Clockwork, if you know where they are, basically you can just out-farm, but you really need to all three.
This is some hatred on the manager right now. Echo Slam as well. That this now means Hook shuts down Tempo's burn through a lot of his mana, and Alchemist, he knows exactly what he wants. He's going to get revenge for his fallen manager. The pullback by MP stops Era from finishing the job, but No-Tail, he's got some space. Now he doesn't. He's locked in with YK, but with the help from Hani, YK is now going to go down. MP jumping a little bit deeper, looking to pick off the Invoker. Nick has to jump back down to No-Tail. The Sprite's heal wears off.
That's a really good farm from Startale, and I really like how they... I mean, you saw Storm Spirit jumping on Invoker, instantly turning back, so that's some good team communication. Honestly, it's... I'm still sure they can take this game. I mean, of course, Fnatic has a huge lead, but it's really hard for them to break high ground, and at one point, the Midas will be ineffective. It's really hard, of course, for Clockwork, Lich, and Shaker to catch up. Although they have the items they need, they have Mech on Lich, they have Dagger on Shaker. They might turn this game around on very clever fights.
Man, I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that our first closest game is actually the Koreans going up against the...
it's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, the all-around European team,
it's really
Fnatic.
Interesting. On the other hand, you have now Basher on Alchemist, so that's a really big threat for Storm.
In fact, is it the full... No, it's not.
And soon Hex on Prophet. Fnatic is doing great this game. No-Tail is probably going for BKB. Of course, I don't think it can be anything else. Maybe he wants to get the Heaven's Albert, but I don't think it makes sense against against BKB heroes anyway. Yeah, Fnatic is huge. Even Hani, he has BKB Aghanims now. He's really huge on his Invoker. I don't think he died. Yeah, he's 4-0. He never died yet.
What's our overall?
He's having a great game.
The highest kill count actually belongs to No-Tail. The 617.
Yep.
Right now on him.
Yeah,
but both him as well as Mirana, like you're talking about like Invoker, but Mirana's also a 4-0-3. And the full Monkey King bar comes in for JYU. And we've got time to fight around Roshan. And again, this is not a good position for Fnatic to fly. The rockets are coming, and all four of them are just waiting. Well, I say all four. They're missing one.
Yeah, and
the Storm Spirit's too far away.
The one they're missing.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Long jump, and he got it! He snatched the Aegis again! And now there's the time for the Lich holding. They're caught inside the pit, and Hani and Era, they're going to back it up. There's already the Aegis triggered off. So Alchemist across the main and go down. JYU, there's still the Sentry Wall that's letting him be seen, and now Storm Spirit, he's back up again, the Orchid over on Fly, he's got to Vortex him back in again in a moment, but No-Tail, now he comes in, Tornado flies, Arrow will not be able to connect, Deafening Blast pushes him back again, MP and Tenbird. No-Tail stand stealing and delivering, and Fly lucky to live at 100 life points there.
It's such a shame he overextended. I don't think I ever saw something like this. He jumped from the base to the rush, got it, and did huge damage. He walked through like 3 or 4 heroes. It's huge damage from Storm Spirit. It's a bit unfortunate that he overextended and died and bowed back. I don't think the buyback is useful. He's not going to get any gold for us.
I think his plan was originally for the Nature's Prophet, assuming that Fnatic was going to keep on going and try to pick up the rest of his heroes.
He was like, I'm doing this again. I just got rushed. I'm going to get like triple kill if I do this again.
He did at least manage to walk halfway up the lane. That was the upside. He walked up halfway up the lane.
What a move from MP. That was an amazing move. Like,
That's the second time. That's the second time in this game that the snatch has happened.
This snatch was really amazing.
Fnatic just getting denied at every single turn.
I mean, you have to have the best timing in the world. You need to like jump when Rush is like not even low. I mean, of course low, but not that low. Amazing timing, honestly. Great play.
Well, one of the highlight solo mids.
Oh yeah.
You'll now remember something about Korean Dota.
I will, about this player in particular. Great jump. Yeah, the flight was still okay for Startale, I guess. I think he has Rush this time as well. Not sure. But anyway.
This time he didn't pick off Rush.
He didn't?
No. Again it was Fnatic's
they
Roshan.
got it before. And that ward did a great job because they knew. I mean, of course, you don't run into Rush against Shaker Clockwork Lich. It's so much AoE damage. But they knew that Storm wasn't here thanks to the ward they have outside of the base. So we can really see how much work a ward can do in a Dota game. Like, gives you so much advantage when you have vision on your enemy.
We're 5-manning against Startale up the middle lane. They want the tier 2. They should actually be able to claim it right now because I think anyone from Fnatic is in a position where they want to fight. The one good thing for Fnatic is the fact they do have a Scythe of Vice over on Nature's Prophets. They do have that Hex now available. So if they're able to get that one off, and 4-star in Era, you almost got himself a double stun, but MP got this BKB off, and now with the Prophet Oddly, still not enough damage. Era, literally will come over and bounce on the street, back into Era. It's a double kill for Gandhi. And they may look, hey, they got the tower as well. No denial, no talent attempted, but not possible.
They're winning fights with over 20k gold.
Yeah.
You know, like
they're going high. Wait, whoa. They've got to be careful going high ground still. That bottom lane is still an issue.
And there's buyback on Alchemist. Yeah, they can't.
No, with both Tornado, like Invoker is one of the best. Look at the Deafening Blast combo. 10, but he's so low on life points right now. That Impetus, it disjointed. Invoker, I think he just managed to Sunstrike down the Storm Spirit.
Yeah,
JYU is caught on top of the hill, but he won't be spotted. While on bottom lane, Fly, he's taking out the tier 3 tower on the bottom lane, but he has to back up.
Yeah.
But that Storm Spirit, he died smack bang right here in the middle lane.
Yeah, that's, of course, decision-making mistake. Of course, you can't. I mean, they did so much good decision. It's a shame. I want them to just, you know, go for the right decisions because if they can turn this game around, then it's a huge turning. Honestly, like fighting with 10k XP, like 10k XP disadvantage and over 20k gold is insanely hard. We're talking like 5 BKBs for the opponent, and how do you want to fight this? Yeah, I mean. Great play coming out from Startale. The bottom is getting fat, so actually, Era was completely fine before. He's not anymore, because bottom is really getting strong.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna try to go high ground against Fisher. Yeah. Fisher missed a bit.
They have to use fortification in a moment. When the alacrity comes up on Era, they just slowed it down.
Yeah. They know there's no buyback on Storm. Obviously, he bowled back for the rush fight, and
look at him just work it.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to stop this right now? Like. 10-bird wants to jump in for an Echo Slam, but he's still on cooldown for another 25 seconds. Concoction goes one way. YK goes down to half of his life points with just one Impetus flying at him. And the melee ranks is taken. Fnatic, they get what they want and they get out.
Great play from Honey. He understood that, of course, it's hard to push against harassment, but he just popped BKB around the 4 of them, made them back during this BKB time to allow Era and his team to get the racks. So very smart play from Honey. He just gave a racks to his team by his play. Instead of just standing behind and waiting. Fnatic is looking for more kills, it looks like.
Yeah, they want to go again.
Yeah.
They realize like they can still split push everything out. And they've got Prophet ulti up. They've got Prophet ulti up. They got Chemical Rage level 3 up and available too. No Talent's just running around doing his thing. Street's even walking around with 4-staff, Medallion, and walking around with Tranquil Boost too. So he's got 18 armor himself with 777 life points. Not too shabby at all. And then the Invoker. Oh, he's just short. He needs a little bit more time to finish up his Scythe of Ice. Storm Spirit, wait, what? I just saw him jump on your screen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the hell's he going?
He jumped for a
regeneration room.
That's like the best rune you can hope for a Storm Spirit. It's huge. I'm just, yeah, if the Storm Spirit didn't die and didn't bow back, he would have Hex by this time or whatever he wants to go as next. Maybe even Lincoln's. I don't know what's good on Storm right now. Even damage might be good.
I'm wondering if it's worth a Scythe of Ice for him too.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Side of Ice can be good. You can just Hex Alchemist before he gets the ulti off, and then you secure a kill on him, an easy one. Also good for Invoker before the BKBs. Of course, I guess Side of Ice is the best choice right now for Storm. He will have it at one point, but having it now would be actually quite huge for him. Now that they opened the map, though, he can just roam around a bit more on himself. I would love to see him carry a gem. You can just carry a gem on such. I mean, it doesn't have him. It doesn't have to be him to buy the gem. Can be the Lich, and they can just like give it to Storm. So, for example, when he walks top lane like this, and he walks on this ward, he removes it, and then he puts pressure on the whole woods, because right now Fly, although he's going back, he's kind of safe. They know where Storm is and what he's up to. It's really important when you have a roaming solo like this, a ganker, to carry a gem on you, to always know whether they have or not vision on you.
I'm watching Notel right now. This is his importance for an Ogre club. He puts it back on the courier, gets 2 wards, and bought 3 of the smokes of Deceit. Well, we are going to go for a smoke gank right now from Fnatic, so let's jump back into their team chat and see what's going on with them.
I'm going.
Wait for us. Wait for us. Wait. Now.
Waiting.
Do it. Oh, you boarded, man.
Yeah, because I didn't know what you want.
Get the hex on him.
I don't see it. I should have just won first time.
I called the board because we weren't close enough. I was afraid you were going to get scouted.
All right, so as you can hear, there's a little bit of, I want to say, miscommunication coming out there from Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, they had to try it. I'm not sure. I mean, of course, the thing is that Nature's Prophet has Hex anyway, so he can just buy the time for his team. I think they would have been in time. I'm not entirely sure. Whatever. Anyway, you have to coordinate those moves. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's just, again, you don't get. You still force back Storm to his base. So it's fine. He's not farming and he's not ganking anything. Yeah, well, it's interesting to see that actually Note does a lot of the leading. Like, he was leading this gank. He was leading the gank before. It's actually interesting to see he does a lot of in-game leading in Fnatic.
He's the one that takes the aggressive part. We're looking at Ultimate Orb flying up right now. But it's a full Daedalus just got completed up by the Mirana.
That's huge.
Over on the courier.
She can burst down Alchemist at this point. It's huge. Bottom is one of the scariest late game hero in the game. Honestly, the attack animation and the range and the attack speed from the leap. She can burst down Alchemist with no problem right now. Especially because, okay, they have two new BKBs on Fnatic. They have one on Enchantress and one on Alchemist. It's getting rough right now. Storm is falling a bit behind. He has to wait the BKB to run out because he's not... I mean, Storm is about physical damage as well, of course, but he doesn't do that much damage against BKB heroes. Like, there's no way he can burst down an Alchemist with BKB and ulti on. Yeah. And that's a smoke again for Fnatic.
Like Storm's only job right now is to kill off Street.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Poor Street.
Well, they're going to jump in right now on the middle lane. Storm Spirit is the one who's the furthest out, and the ping is coming out for him. And Hani, there goes your Hex. They're going to call step him up too. There's your Impetus flying up the hill, but the Acid Spray will help to kill him off. As Crystal Maiden, in fact. Streeter gets the kill, and he throws down the ulti. There's nobody in range right now, so Street, it was nice for show. Especially with the Storm Spirit buying back, they realize they have to fall back too.
I would have loved to see a second 4-star from Lich on this Storm. I think he could have saved him.
Startale, look, there's no hookshot available right now. With a Fissure though, BKB from Notel. He realizes what's going on, and then the Cogs, they push his Era back, and he'll have to trigger. He's already triggered off his own BKB. Storm Spirit is in very, very deep. The Fissures keep flying, and the Lich ulti is in the perfect position. It bounces up into Era, back to Hani, over to Fly, back to the Necro units. The Storm Spirit will die, however, in the middle of this fight. With the buyback, it does not help him. JYU is the only one to survive through all of this. And Hani is not going to let him. He got the Hex. Prophet's going to TP in too. His Hex is still on cooldown, but with the Ice Ball and the Sprout, they're body blocking him. But Fly, JYU, you're right, he does do a lot of damage. But he still will lose his own life. Hani and Street, the only two left alive. Prophet buys back. They can now try and breach up this mid. With the Prophet TP in to create a new army of trees, they should be able to take this tier 3 tower. Yeah, definitely. They had a good fight, but they had to commit so much to take down this Alchemist, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. They always have in mind to burst down Note, which is quite interesting. I mean, of course, the Enchantress at this point does huge damage with level 3 inputs plus Aghanims. Fnatic is getting distracts, for sure. Great fighting from Fnatic, Garen turning. I mean, they have Hexes. It's really hard right now for Startale to fight Fnatic. They outfarm them so hard. It's over 25k gold. We're getting to the 30k gold limit. Oh, jump in with the Echo Slam. That's a nice one. Tembert, he's trying to give it a shot, but Hani's still behind him. And you remember, they're still got a double Hex. Orchid on one side, the Tornado sends the Earthshaker up, and BKB from Clockwork. He's going to hookshot himself in right now on top of Fly, but they push him out of the cogs with a Fissure. And Fly, he turns for one last hit, but does die. That's a good kill to get on Prophet. I'm not sure if he bowed or not. Yeah.
No, actually, yeah, he
Yeah,
bought back, so that's why
profitable
it's
back.
yeah. Okay, so that's why it's that high. Well, I'm not sure they can get something out of
It'll
it.
be higher the next time.
Maybe they can get rush out of this. I mean, they still have 10 seconds to go for bottom to be back, and then they will still have like almost 50 seconds when they get to rush. So it might be the thing they should get right now. Try to get rush to be ready for the next fight, because obviously it's getting harder as they're getting out-farmed and out-experienced. Maybe they have a smoke that... I'm not sure if they have a smoke available to run on rush right now. Doesn't look like... Yeah, they have one on Lich, actually. It would be the good decision right now to snipe rush.
But they got to move quickly then.
Yeah,
like
Fnatic
Rocket's already flying over to see what's going on.
This ward is hurting them so much. Fnatic knows everything that's going on for Startale, as every time they get out of...
You're talking about this one here in the middle lane?
Yeah, exactly. Every time they get out of the base, Fnatic knows if they're going to be in time or not. They should really remove this ward somehow, I don't know, with sentries or gem.
30 seconds, man.
They have the time to do it, but right now they're running late. It's taking them too much time.
Yeah. They'd have to do this so damn fast, but they just don't have the damage output. Yep. There's even Tornado scouting out from Hani. And Sunstrike, the next one, and actually connected on tempo, because the Tornado gave him the vision to do so.
They're going to take a fight. At least they're going to take a fight without Aegis on Fnatic's side, but bottom lane will be pushing in as soon as Prophet gets out. I mean, he will just spam his ultimate, maybe TP there, put Necro, TP back. So they're playing against the clock right now.
Full Daedalus is up on Fly. He goes top lane instead. So bring on the split push. Also bring on the Hand of Midas usage.
Yeah.
And up comes Fnatic. Hani, he already got the Hex over on Gun. He pops his own BKB, so MP can't control him. And the Sunstrike from Invoker. Absolutely perfect. MP will now jump himself out.
Nice.
Oh, the Deafening Blast! It connected and cancelled his TP. He has to walk out here the old-fashioned way. There'll be a DD rune. He's got the Moonlight Shadow, which is helping him for now. Clockwork going to jump in. There's still the DD rune out. That arrow just flew straight through ear with a PKB up. Sun over on Mirana with an unstable concoction. But YK is flying with a double kill. One last bash over towards the Storm Spirit, but he's getting done up too. Street trying to man-fight him up. The manager for Fnatic trying to do his job. And MP, has he got himself another one? They're force-staffing in the supporter hero. He'll die
Street.
from the fall right now.
He wants the last hit.
No, he'll die from the Tornado. And GG, well played. The Koreans will call it 48 minutes and 48 seconds into this game. And Fnatic have just taken way too many fights, and they're able to take the victory. So Fnatic will play up against Alliance, and the Serbians have a date with the Koreans.
No, that was a very good game. Very good game from, of course, Fnatic, but they were expected to do well. Great, like very solid play, and great game from Startale. Honestly, it wasn't easy at all. It was a very close game.
Yeah, man, it was. It's a game which I was actually hoping from Startale. Like I was kind of like feeling the depression coming out from them when they're saying like it's like Tembad was like no, hey, we're not going to win here, and we're just looking to learn, looking to do that. But their improvement from the time which I saw them play up against actually they played up in the last series for the Invitational. From just that, from like even earlier at the Sponsorship League up until now, this is light years ahead. This Korean scene is developing so quickly, and especially this Startale team. Obviously, though, there's still some experience to come.
Of course, but they have nothing to be ashamed of. They put up a great fight. I mean, even like they played 20k gold behind and still won fights. Only very strong teams can pull out that. So, really great play from Startale. I'm really impressed, and I'm looking forward to see what they can achieve in the future. And of course, Fnatic, that's a good win to secure. They have to focus on their match against Alliance. It will decide the top of the group if they manage to beat Team 1 when they face them. So, yeah, great game. Looking forward for the next ones.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. But yeah, of course, we can actually think about our next games too, because now we know with Alliance as well as Fnatic going ahead, we get to have one hell of a matchup.
That's going to be a hell of a match for sure.
It could be one minus of a time, you could possibly say. Because it will be a very, like, it could be anything. Like, it could be very aggressive, it could be very, very slow.
And that's the thing with the Midas, because you can punish it by playing aggressive. So it's basically all-in farm or all-in aggressiveness. So you never know what to expect from the teams. That's what makes it interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this early kind of stuff. That's one of the things which I was really praising as well with like Na'Vi, with their play over the Dream League season, where they're just like, it's a very efficient Midas use.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still waiting for the Doombringer to come back again. Like, using both Devour as well as Midas. Like, it's different to the Alchemist we saw in this game. Like, the Alchemist who, like, most Alchemists these days will go max levels up in the Acid Spray. You get as many points up in the Concoction as possible because you know you're going to fight early on as the Alchemist. Like, make the most out of your Chemical Rage and not go the Grievel's Greed, which we're used used to be, like in the days when Black used to still be here in Europe. And I was like, 4 points up in Greevil's
Green is to its maximum.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's all about the monies.
Exactly.
All about the money.
Actually, we had Speed Gaming does play a very effective Doom, and of course they use Devour as well as Midas, and he gets like Eternal Envy on it. He gets like Shivas and like Assault Cuirass in like 25
crazy
minutes.
with his Doom though, because with his Doombringer, he doesn't get mana pull.
Yeah, it's you can't get him, like you just can't burst him down. He's just running in. You have like as a support, you have to play with this huge thing running on you, and you know nobody can do anything about it. You know, it's actually interesting to play. I think the Doombringer is actually a very relevant pick in this meta game.
Yeah.
Might see it in this tournament.
Especially for teams that like to play like Timbersaw Heroes or things like that. Like Timbersaw and Livestealer.
Completely useless against Doom. Completely useless. You know the teams that have really picks that they just stand their ground and they're ready to fight with Livestealer, Timbersaw, whatever. Just Doom runs it, Doom 1, just crush this kind of lineup. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Time to throw over to our little social corner where we have the Invoker himself, Honey, meeting up with Zoe.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I do have the Mr. Invoker here next to me. Now, with glasses on. I just looked away for 2 seconds and then they were on. Interesting. Do you always wear glasses? Did you always wear glasses? No?
I have bad eyes, so
really?
I guess
okay,
I should
I
wear
never
glasses.
actually saw that. However, I wanna talk a little bit about the Invoker play we just saw. As you normally take up a bit of a more aggressive role in the early and mid game in terms of ganking and stuff. However, if you do play on Invoker, it seems a lot more farm heavy. Is there any of those two you enjoy more?
I think I'm fine with both. Maybe it also has something to do that Trixie's not playing today, because he would usually take more farm. So when I don't play Invoker, for example, then I would have more ganking heavy heroes such as Lion or something like that, where I don't require as much farm. But Invoker really has to scale with farming. If you don't farm, you're not going to do much late game or mid game. So yeah, that was my role this game, and it worked out.
It did indeed. So let's talk a little bit about your opponents. I mean, you guys have had some experience now in Korea. This is the second time you're actually facing off against like the Korean teams like that. What are your thoughts on them? Not only on Startale, but in general on the Korean Dota.
I actually think they played quite good today, I would say. Sure, we played with a stand-in Danny manager, but overall I actually think their laning presence is very good. They just don't know. What I notice a lot is we split push them, and they don't know how to catch people. I feel like they were quite in a bubble, not knowing how to gank a person, and I had a pretty easy game in that sense because I wasn't ganked ever, and I just dodged all these games. Maybe it's also the warding that Jahan did that was very efficient for us. We saw them all game long, so split pushing in that sense was even easier for us.
But you would say you were surprised with how Startale actually managed to keep in that game for that long.
I don't know if I would say surprised, but I think they just improved. Maybe they learned a lot from Korea. Maybe it helped them. I think it was important for them also coming here to actually get more experience against other Korea teams, and I think they did well.
So if we do talk about the other Korean teams, I said you guys like about a month ago you have been in Korea. Where do you see the differences in the meta game over there compared to like the Western teams here?
I don't know if I would call it meta game. Like I felt like when we were in Korea, you don't know what you can ban anything and it doesn't matter because it's not what opponents actually want to play. So you just sit there when you draft your own thing and you throw some random bans in there and maybe they like it, maybe they don't. You don't know actually. So I'm not sure if you can really speak of a certain meta there. I mean, I think everyone has their style there, but for example, in the European scene or Chinese scene, there's always certain bans that will always come. And though what I noticed as well is in the banning stage, in our banning stage, they actually ban what we like to play, sort of. No, it was more casual bans that you actually expect. The Wisp ban that we got in Korea, I think 4 times in a row. So they learned from that.
Well, and they really, really did well in that game against you guys. Now they're going to go up against Team 1. Who do you see as a favorite in that very match?
Well, I would say that Team 1 obviously has like a peak because they just have more experience overall. But I think if they work around, maybe even have more push dedication, the Korean team, they just have to go for something. They were just running around like headless chickens. But I actually think laning-wise and the early game for them was just fine. It was really good. So I wouldn't count them out at all.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see that game. We can't wait to see your game against Alliance. So thanks a lot for joining me here for the quick interview and give you your insight to us. And we're going to be right back after a quick break with the Social Corner.